Alrighty, folks, we're tying up a quick and awesome crappie fly. If you are already thinking about springtime, maybe you're sneaking out to Nelson Lake to get on those slabs in March or early April, this is a fly you're going to want to have along with your Klausermanners, your Crazy Charlies, your Woolly Buggers in white and silver. This is the Crappie Crush. And we've got our thread started at the front of our 2X long streamer. This is a size 8, so it's got some width to it and we can build it out. But again, we want inch long, flashy, and fishy for these slabs. So we're going to start out, we're going to put a pair of dumbbell eyes right about here, and we're going to get 3 wraps there, crossing over, put 3 wraps. Now we're going to figure 8 them into place. We add a little bit of thread here to build it out. I'm going to come back, figure 8 some more, and then go forward. You see we're leaving a little bit of room up front because that is where we're going to finish the fly. That's where our materials are going to wrap up. But boom, right there. That is what we need. I'm going to add a quick drop of Zap-A-Gap. And there it's set. You see we got those eyes in there. The next step, as you saw from my pretty solid breath there, we're going to use some Marabou. And Marabou is one of those patterns that crappies just love. It's flowy, it's rich, it's got texture, it's got color. And if you read anything on Dakota Edge Outdoors recently, a beautiful late season sharp-tailed grouse is a perfect feather for making these flies because it's got that cool baitfish composition of silver and white. You know, those are go-to crappie patterns to make it look like a minnow. So our little Marabou tail, we're going to trim off here. It's going to be about the same length as our hook shank. We're going to tie it in a little bit in front of the bend, about halfway up the body as such. But you can see now already we're getting that great baitfish profile. Those silver strands are everywhere, those white tips. It's just a killer pattern. So if you can salvage a late season grouse in one of your hunting adventures next year, it makes a great base for this fly. So our tail's in place. Next up, we're going to add some Estaz, and we're going to take that Estaz in there. It's pretty thin, so we can wrap it a little tighter, wrap it a little thicker. We can be judicious with it. So we're going to tie that in. And I like to tie it in right up to the eyes because it bulks the body up just slightly. But what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the tail, right up to the bend where the tail starts, like that. Come forward, go a couple times back over the eyes, and then lock her down. So you may see the shift of the focus here. I don't want to lose that too much, but we're going to wrap it forward. And you can come over it a couple times, giving it that added bulk and that added depth to give it some more flash. But again, this is just adding on to the fishiness and the flashiness and the cool look that we are going to get out of this killer fly, the Crappie Crush. I really like it. It's a good substitute for any baitfish pattern you might have. So we're going to come up the eye one more time like that, and then we're going to lock it down up front here. A couple turns of thread, preferably up on top like that, so it's easy to trim, and then snip. Check that out. It's looking good. Got a little bit of exposure there, so it brings the fly all together, makes it a good little profile over those eyes, really incorporates them into the body. I'm going to tie some of that remaining flash down, and then we're going to flip the fly like that. I'm going to tilt my camera so I can get a little more angle on it as we turn it. But yeah, there it is. That looks really, really nice as I've turned the angle so you can see, you know, the fly. It's not 100% complete rotation there, but at least you get the idea. Then I'm going to take 4 silicone legs, and these ones have a nice little pearl flash to blend in with our pattern. And I'm going to tie these down right behind the hook eye, just like so. Locking them down right up to those barbell eyes so that way they will arc back over the fly. And we'll build up the thread head a little bit there, locking them into place. And they're going to kind of flutter and kick. You want to cut them right about there so that they're, you know, the same length of the fly. They can go a little bit longer if you want, but boom, there they are. And that's just a killer looking fly. Crappies are going to eat this up. It's going to just look like a young of the year minnow or you know, some sort of bait fish that's swimming around them. Whatever's, you know, white and flashy, silvery, flitting around, you know, whether it's pre-spawn or summertime, those fish are keyed in on, and they're definitely going to eat it. I'm whip finishing, I'm tying off, and then we'll add that drop of Zap-A-Gap. But you can also use bead chain eyes if you find those slabs up shallow. I was catching them as shallow as, say, a foot last year. So you could use bead chain eyes as well on that, and they won't sink as quickly. But if you're fishing crappies in summer, it's a great fly with those barbell eyes. That's the Crappie Crush. I guarantee you hook it up, give it a couple subtle jigs in the water, you are going to put the hurt on some serious slabs this spring and summer. I hope you enjoy. Have a great time with the vise, and certainly look forward to some awesome summer fishing.